Prepare yourself. The Kamidogu podcast begins now. There will be blood.
Hello everybody and welcome back to the Kamidogu podcast with Christopher and Toasty.
Toasty!
So glad to have you with us once again. If you're new here, we're a long-running podcast all about Mortal Kombat, brought to you by an even longer-running Mortal Kombat fan site. If you enjoyed today's episode, then please consider sharing the show with a friend from within your favourite podcast app to help spread some of that MK love.
Today, combatants, we have the pleasure of being joined by Jacob Craner, who is most known in the community for tackling the character Havik these days. He did a splendid job voicing the character in Mortal Kombat 1, and we both look forward to his innovative take on the Cleric of Chaos for the Chaos Reigns story expansion. We were lucky enough to get Jacob on the show today to talk all things Mortal Kombat. We hope you guys will enjoy the special today, but before we switch over to the interview, there's a little something that we're excited to reveal to you. Something that you could cherish greatly, and it can be all yours. Chris, why don't you tell the audience today what we got going on?
Yeah, so to celebrate the release of the Chaos Reigns expansion for Mortal Kombat 1, which releases on September 24, we have 2 autographed artworks of Havik signed by Jacob himself to give away. To enter, head on over to our page on X or Twitter and retweet our preview of this episode. You can also enter by liking and commenting on this episode on our YouTube channel or sharing the preview to your Instagram story. Entries close September 23rd at midnight, Australian Eastern Standard Time. Best of luck, and now, ladies and gentlemen, let's shift across to today's interview.
All right, my friends, and here we are, joined with Jacob Craner. It's such an honor to have you, man. Thank you so much for being here.
Woo! What's up, everybody? Thanks for having me. I'm stoked to be here. This has been in the works for a couple weeks now. Couple weeks, month about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We made it happen. It happen. So I want to start off by asking you, how did you originally get into voice work in the first place?
So I went to, right out of high school, I went to trade school in Phoenix, Arizona, actually for audio engineering. And in high school, I actually did some theater. I did a lot of choir. I was a choir kid. And so at the end of my vocational training, I just needed to pick a job market, and I'm a West Coast, U.S. West Coast baby. And so it was either L.A. or New York, and I'm like, New York's too far. And so I came to L.A. and interned at a bunch of places, landed at a voiceover recording studio where I was being an assistant engineer, mixing engineer, sound designer, stuff like that. So early on, I was lucky enough to brush shoulders. That studio, it's called Soundworks in Burbank. It's still around today. And every once in a while, I'll do projects for them if need be. And but they did lots of video games, lots of prime time like television animation. So I was very lucky to brush shoulders with a lot of greats, a lot of super, the Rob Paulsons and the Troy Bakers and the Gray Delisles of the world. And
Oh, it's always a pleasure.
Yeah. Oh man, and it was awesome, and they were all so cool.
Yeah.
To little old 20-year-old me being like, "Hi, I'm an audio engineer." So from there, once if you're paying attention to the right stuff, being in those situations, recording these masters of their craft can be in itself a lesson or a workshop if you're paying attention to what they're doing, jotting down your mental notes while you're writing the real notes you're supposed to be writing. And so I wanted to find myself on the other side of the glass. So I had some casting directors that really threw me some bones and took me under their wing. Allison Bosch is one of them. Marsha Goodman is one of them. Mark Handler is one of them. And they really helped, foster the kindling of me going into the vein of voice acting. And from there, ended up doing years of workshops, acting training, because high school acting wasn't cutting it, Need to do more, and you need to get your chops up to really run with the big dogs. And I'm still trying to run with the big dogs, but stuff is good. And yeah, and so that's where it all snowballed from.
Okay.
Very nice. Were you a Mortal Kombat fan before taking on the role of Havik in Mortal Kombat 1?
Mortal Kombat was in my childhood. I have very distinct memories of it being Thanksgiving, being upstairs with my cousins, Derek and Justin and Raymond and all them, and them. I think they read it. Was it on Sega Genesis?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I think they rented a Sega Genesis and played. Was it Mortal Kombat 2 or 3? I remember it was my first time seeing Cyrax.
Yep.
Is that 3?
Yes.
3 Cyrax.
Okay,
Yep.
so it was 3. Yeah, and I saw Scorpion, rip out some dude's spine, and I'm like 6 years old, and I'm like,
Scorpion actually wasn't in the default MK3.
Oh, no?
Must have been UMK3,
Ultimate.
maybe. What, was that for Genesis?
Sure.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. But
That's awesome.
I saw
I
that.
mean, did you have a favorite character in those early
Back then
days?
it was Cyrax, because I also, when I was really young, I watched Predator, and I loved it.
Yep.
And Cyrax, his helmet kind of reminded me of the Predator helmet, so I was like, yeah Cyrax.
Absolutely.
He's the one.
I think it was inspired. Yeah.
Yeah. Now I think modern, I still like Cyrax, but Noob Saibot, I think, is also an awesome character, kind of like the fallen resurrection of, of
cool backstory.
Ice Man. My brain
Of
farted.
Iceman.
Yeah, Sub-Zero.
Yes.
There we go.
Yes.
Oh, very
He's
cool.
up there
Brendan
for me,
Fraser
too.
in a. What was that movie he did with Pauly Shore where they dig up the caveman? In Encino.
yeah.
Anyway, that doesn't
Yeah.
matter. But Encino Man, that's what it's called.
That's
But yeah, but then I took a break. I actually didn't really get into it. I was into fighting games. I played a lot of Soul Calibur 2, like a lot
Yes, me too.
of Soul
yes.
Calibur 2.
Yep.
Mitsurugi, Ascension, Descend. Talim was also one of my favorites. But this isn't a Soul Calibur podcast. So I hate to break it to you, but
Well,
no, but got the mic. No. And then honestly, I was kind of out of it until I booked MK1, and I've been back into it. And I'm like, why haven't I gotten back to this sooner? Since my childhood, it just awakened those memories, which was great.
yeah. So you
Yeah,
did have
'cause
a
I was-
massive gap. Yeah.
Yeah, because I was just going to ask you
And
specifically.
I missed a lot.
Yes.
Like, what was your initial reaction, though? Like, how did you feel when you secured the role of Havik in MK1? Like, did you
So-
go out and...
Oh, sorry. No. It did. But when I got it, it was still under code name until I walked into the VO booth.
Right.
And then I found out, and I was like, oh. I was over the moon because I had those memories so clear from being a kid. And I was like, this rules. Oh, I did remember going to the video store and renting the Mortal Kombat movie, and me and my friends would just watch that on
Yes.
repeat. The awesome, 2000s or late 90s CGI of Scorpion's whip coming out of his hand, and you're like, whoa!
Little serpent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I
What
didn't
a
miss.
great movie.
I didn't miss Mortal Kombat completely. We were obsessed with the Mortal Kombat movie.
Yeah.
I need to rewatch it and remind myself. Sorry, where were we at? Oh, when I booked Havik. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was stoked. Sorry, what was the question again?
Well, that pretty much sums it up. I mean, the fact that you
good.
had to go out and rent the movie or borrow it, I think is fantastic. I think to this day it still holds up. It's still such a fun movie to watch. Like,
Oh, yeah.
the CGI looks rough, but the
man.
performances and the fight scenes, oh man, what a masterpiece I find.
But something especially since I like hit my 30s. Since then, just become such a nostalgia whore. Everything is like a 90s reference or a 2000s reference. I'm constantly listening to Ludacris and Missy Elliott, you know?
Oh, yeah.
I was like, I remember when they used to play music videos on TV, watching
my
Fuse
God.
TV, not MTV, MTV2. That was the Headbangers Ball. Anyway, yeah.
Just out of curiosity's sake, what was the code name that the project was under, and did you have any inkling that it was going to be sort of Mortal Kombat related?
You know what? I'm not sure if I have clearance to say that.
Sunflower.
Do people? Is that a thing people know as code names for?
I mean, I don't know.
I think
know.
Mela Lee, she remembered her code name. She revealed
Oh,
it.
okay.
But
It doesn't matter. We don't have to.
doesn't matter.
Don't
Yeah, I
It's all
mean,
good.
yeah. I'm not sure. I could text Dom and find out.
That's okay. That's all right.
Yeah.
Just a random thing I threw in there.
No.
Oh, okay.
So, although Havik has only appeared in 2 prior games and made cameos in a number of endings and the Mortal Kombat X comic, did you spend any time studying his history or learning more about him specifically?
Since then, yes. Because a good buddy of mine, Matt Houghton, he's a hilariously good artist, and maybe sometime when Video Game Strike is over and the DLC is out, there will be an awesome custom piece for him released on my Streamly for signing. And maybe I'll do a limited quantity, maybe I'll make it generally available, but we'll see. And it's so dope. But
Sick.
he's very much into the comic book world, so he actually got me hip to Mortal Kombat X. I haven't gotten my hands on a actual copy to read it, but I would love to, and I kind of have a gist of, you know, what happens. I familiarize myself how he, you know, they slew Onaga so he could gain access to blood magic, and his whole thing in deceiving Rico. I've seen the cell of him like pressing his eyes into Rico's skull as Rico's like, I'm a blood god, and Havoc's like, psych, bitch.
Indeed.
Yeah, and
They're great.
and how which is dope, and you know we'll get to this later, but how he finds Cabal and nurses him back to health and brings him into his fold, and in his whole complicated thing with Quan Chi, where he's like, yeah, I'll work with you, but you know, secret, you know, he wants to screw him over, and then Quan Chi, you know, spoiler, ends up crushing his living yelling skull at the end. They're like, chaos, right? I've seen that cell too, so I'm the type of person where I don't really mind spoilers. I don't really care. I already knew everything that happened in Dune just from watching videos of the lore to go to sleep, but I don't care. I still read the books because they're awesome, so it doesn't ruin me when I can't get to Mortal Kombat X. I'm very, very excited for it.
Nice.
And I forget, do you know who does the artwork on that? Mortal
shit.
Kombat X? If only I had a Google tab
what's his
right
name?
here.
It's not.
I'm wondering if it kind of looked like, I was wondering if it was the same guy who did Monsters, like the alternate Hulk origin story, which I read this summer, which was
sure.
insane.
Is it? I had a name in my head. Dexter Soy. Does he do the illustrations in that one?
Okay, Steve Barron. Oh, was for the fighting game, Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, Steve
X. I'm
Barron.
talking about the comic, dog.
Yeah, I in terms of illustration, I think Dexter Soy was
Yes.
the main person behind it. That's the name that's come to mind, but I could be
Yes,
wrong.
I see that. Cool.
Cool.
I love
Yeah.
comic book art, man.
Yeah.
It rules.
Yeah, I really wish they'd continue the Mortal Kombat comics, especially with MK1. Like, there's so much to tell with this new era. I really wish that they'd expand on it in a different way as well.
Yeah. And I like even though it kind of has this, like timeline verse feel, I don't feel like it's kind of, I don't know, I feel like Marvel kind of fell into a pitfall of like, if we just want something different to happen, it's like, oops, here's it's an alternate universe. Bleh. And I don't know, I fell off Marvel years ago, and no offense to Marvel fans, they're gorgeous movies, but
yeah,
I don't know, I find it a little lackluster these days. Shots fired. I know.
Wow, I mean, especially this last phase, man. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Am I
It's
not
going down a
alone?
little bit.
Oh no, bummer.
Yeah.
Well, they could always come back.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Jacob, how long did it take you to record all your lines? And did you, by chance, ever inject like a decent amount of like improv?
Let's see. It would be, sessions are normally in 2-hour blocks because of the just strain on voice. That's a union rule for strenuous voice activity. You got to limit it to 2 hours, and that might change in the future with everything that's happening right now. But I remember for the DLC, because it was very story heavy, that was a 4-hour block, and it's been recording on and off since, man, I want to say, let me go and, sorry, I'm stalling things. Let me go and see when my first booking email is. That's actually a cool thing to look up. Should have looked this up beforehand. Oh, wow. So that, oh, wow. What a funny emphasis. So that was 2020, I guess.
Okay.
So it's been on and off for like 4 years.
Wow.
Which rules.
Did you get a kick out of doing all the fight noises and stuff?
Oh, yeah, man. It's such a blast. And so that's kind of where, let me get back to the stream tab. That's where some of the improv, not like heavy dialogue improv, but, maybe something will have like a sinister chuckle on it, or like a expression of rage. And most of that just comes from, especially in like intro dialogue and fight dialogue.
Yeah.
A lot of the timings are really tight. And there is separate actors. One of them is Adam Jennings. One of them is Omar. Please don't kill me for forgetting your last name, Omar. But they're the performative actors on like the motion capture side.
Okay.
So that all that has to sync up. So a lot of the improv would just be like grunts and sounds and just expressional noises to keep the timing tight.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Bit of a strange question, but Havoc doesn't have any lips. So was there any discussion around how his mouth should move when delivering the lines?
So in the first session, they showed me a picture of them, and I think I naturally just arrived at that gritted teeth kind of.
Ah, yes.
Just as a by nature of just what I was seeing.
Sure.
If we didn't, I'm sure it would have become a conversational piece. One thing we did talk about, though, because in the very first session I did for Mortal Kombat, was the scene where my face gets dipped in liquid metal.
Ouchie.
So part of it, part of the dialogue, it's like, don't put as much like Rasper Grit, and then after his, he gets burned, maybe some of the metal fumes messed up his vocal cords or something. Yeah. So they had me inject a little bit more texture and a little bit more grit in there to have the more injured sound to him.
Just a little side question. When you deliver the lines, I've seen like Mark Hamill when he delivers like Joker lines, like he really sort of becomes like another person. When you really get into it, do you find yourself like almost like becoming someone else? And like after delivering for those 2 hours, are you literally like, is your shirt just covered in drool?
Yeah, Dominic he will attest to how like emotive. There's a lot of like this.
Okay.
But like wide of, there's a lot of flexing. Yeah, there's a lot of gritted teeth, a lot of wide eyes. And yeah, at the end of the sessions, I feel like my adrenaline's pumping and I'm like amped up. There's a lot of There's a lot of very like angry, accusatory pointing. Yeah, it's a good outlet for just aggression, frustration, anger, all those things.
and that translates across to the lunchroom. So after a session, you go into the lunchroom. I want my cookie.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I come out of the booth and they're like, "Hey, great job, man." Don't talk to me. No, I'm just kidding.
Flips the table and walks out.
Yeah.
That's my dude.
They better validate my parking pass.
Yeah.
It's pre-validated. Don't be so angry about it. I knew that. Just in case. Anyway, sorry.
No, it's all good. The original story for MK1 ended on a pretty big cliffhanger in which Titan Havoc arrives to a blood-soaked battlefield beneath the pyramid. How big of a role would you say Havoc plays in this new story? And is there anything at all that you can tell us about it?
Well, I will say what's in the trailer is in the trailer, and I cannot expand on more than that. We see the field of Havocs, if you will, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
That isn't the... Oh, good.
Yeah.
Hopefully I was remembering correctly. Shit! No. So that is a hint to something very exciting, and I will say that fans of Havoc will not be disappointed with his representation in
That's
this
what I like to hear.
installment. Yeah.
Very interesting.
Sorry, I can't. If you want to do a follow-up afterward, I'm more than happy, but I guess, it's already going to be out, so it's like,
Yeah.
we already know, so...
Yeah, sure. All right, so since the release of Mortal Kombat 1 in 2023, we've seen a number of announcer voices released. With Havoc, we assume being the main antagonist in the upcoming Chaos Reigns expansion, will we see the introduction of a new Havoc announcer voice? Like, have you recorded anything along those lines?
I can't answer that for certain, but it would definitely be kick-ass.
I'd say it's coming.
That would be
yeah.
badass. Oh, do you happen to have a favorite line or moment from either story that you can recall?
Oh, yeah. Going back to the, of course, it's not favorite moment. First, let's do favorite moment.
Okay.
I love dropping the hammer on the squirming, armless torso
Jax.
of Jax. It's just so unnecessarily cruel. And it's just like the writers and the animators, it's like, who came up with this? You sick freak, I love you. That's so awesome.
Poor guy.
Yeah, I love it. And then as far as favorite line, right after, I get my face burnt off and I'm kind of like staggering, meat is dripping off my face, the heavy breathing. It's almost as if Havoc exhales hot metal fumes from his mouth. I assume it's not cold in there because there's a boiling vat of metal. And, as he's saying, it's like, I am not finished. I love that. And then combat into, for burning me, you'll burn in the nether realm. And then fight ensues.
So good.
I really
love
enjoy sort of any line where he kind of like shakes. Like, I can't remember the specific line.
Like shaking with rage or like with bloodlust, kind of.
Yeah.
After that scene where he drops the mace thing on Jax's head, he's sort of shaking and he says something or other, the blood, the chaos.
Yeah.
And when he says the chaos, he's like, and I'm like, hell yeah.
The chaos.
So good.
I love inserting kind of like that, it's almost like a Fallout Wastelander jet head.
Yeah.
Just like tweaker bloodlust being like, can we kill? I don't even care if we get any loot, man. I just want to crack some skulls. I love putting that like just crazy, insane character into voices.
Yeah.
Which, in Titan Havoc, I feel like it's a little more, at that point, it's a little more subdued, and maybe he's not as feral. Probably still has moments, but, he's inundated. He's the lord of his realm. Now, there's no contest.
Yes.
Very nice. Yeah, so tell us,
I'm
what was it
getting
like
pumped just
working
saying
under
this.
the direction of Dominic Cianciolo?
Oh, Dom's great. I can't remember. I don't know if anyone else calls him Dom, but I call him Dom.
Yeah, I
He's
think
from.
Oh
everyone
yeah, they
calls
all
him
call him Dom.
It felt
Oh,
strange
good.
just saying his full name just now.
Yeah.
Because even I call him Dom, so.
Yeah. I like to go, hey, Dom. Horrible Chicago accent. And he doesn't even have a Chicago accent, but he's from Chicago. So I always like to, Chicago is one of my, I've only been there when I was 12, but I need to go back there and have like a proper Italian beef. And
Yeah.
as I say in a New York accent, I need the Italian beef. I need the tavern pie. I need to go to June and Judd hot dog place. Wiener Circle, that's a hot dog place. And deep dish, all that good stuff. No, Dom is great. And we're all chummy. They organized, he came out for like a, which is so awesome that he flies out there here just to hang out with us all. He organized this MK meetup just at a restaurant down the street from me, since I'm in the shit, man. I'm in the middle of LA. And it was cool. It was cool
How
to
neat is that?
to meet
Yeah.
fellow castmates. Some people that I've never met, some people that I recognize from other VO jobs, being like, "Oh, no way, you're on this."
Yeah, so you did get to meet a few others, because most of the actors that we speak to always mention that they're sort of in and out and they never really meet with anybody else.
Yeah. So it was a really great opportunity. I hung out a lot with KG. Have you guys interviewed KG yet? I forget who he voices.
What about Andrew Bowen? Have you seen him at all?
Yeah. I met him.
We've had him on. He's
Oh yeah, he's a good buddy of ours.
a
Yeah.
character.
He's a funny guy.
Yeah, he rules.
Yeah.
And who doesn't like Johnny Cage? Johnny Cage, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Johnny Cage is hell.
The egotistical superstar.
Yeah. No, I think KG current voice.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You got me curious now. Are you like genuinely like friends with any of the other ones? You still talk to them regularly?
I'm friends with Jake Green. He did. Who did he? Did he do the sound alike for Homelander?
Okay.
Okay.
I'm being horrible. Yeah, Jake Green. Yeah, he does a sound alike for Homelander.
There you go.
He did a good job as him, I found.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
he's
he mimicked him quite well.
he knew me when I was just starting out, and he was always just always so supportive, and I'd leave the studio and be like, "Hey, I'm actually going to record Halo," and he's like, "Hell yeah, man! I'll see you in there." Da 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 da. He always remembers me, and he's just such a great guy.
Nice.
Yeah.
So Jacob, besides Mortal Kombat, are you really into any gaming franchises particularly? Are you a gamer at all? Any particular titles you really like to play?
Yeah. I love PCs. I love PC building. I built my current PC and my last one ever since like my early 20s. So I'm a PC gamer. Yeah.
I'm guessing
Tech
you like
news
Fallout.
is usually actually, you know what? The last Fallout I played a lot of was New Vegas, and I haven't been back since.
Oh, it's
But,
amazing that one. Yeah.
I'm playing Diablo 4 right now on hardcore mode.
Damn, dude.
Yeah. Gotta make it exciting. And so you can just like bum rush the campaign, because the first like difficulty tier they start you out on gets kind of boring really quick.
Yeah,
So I'm hoping
it does.
that like
It does. Yeah.
yeah, I'm hoping that just like rushing the campaign, and it's pretty easy with a pyromancer to just like Hydra, and just run. But some of you out there know what I'm talking about. But beyond that, I like finding. I've been playing a lot of Manor Lords, which is like a city builder this year. That's still in like beta, and I'll probably revisit that once Greg. I don't know if that's how he sounds, but Greg sounds like this to me. But once more content comes out, I played a lot of, over the last couple of years, of Mountain Blade Bannerlord. That game is super dope.
Yeah.
One of my favorites from this year was Hellblade 2, Senua's Saga. That is the
Graphically?
best. That is the best movie I've ever played.
Oh my lord!
It literally, and you gotta play in headphones.
Yes, for that
It's
full
like-
effect.
Yeah, it's like it's a movie.
Yeah.
That is so awesome to play. And there's that scene where you're down in the heart of the earth, and like all the Draugr and creatures are, like coming out of the shadows and chomping on you.
Yep.
Yeah, I have on my playlist. I have the first Hellblade that I need to get through. What else have I been playing this? Oh, I finally beat. I do the Jackals in Halo Infinite, and that was the first game I actually played and beat that I'm in. And
Okay.
Cool.
yeah, that was a super fun campaign. I grew up playing a ton of Halo, lots of World of Warcraft, tons of Halo. Like,
I think almost all of us have, man.
Yeah,
Halo
like,
was
let's-
just huge.
yeah, like let's get the bros
Yeah.
together and go to the local competition and let's spank some fools and capture the flag.
Yeah.
Or what was that? What was the game with the skull? Not Dominator, like Overlord
Oh,
or
it's
something,
been
like,
years.
something like that. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
been years for me too.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was all my formative years. So
Very nice. So we've actually got some fan submitted questions for you now, and I'm going to absolutely butcher the usernames because they're really strange. So to kick things off, at GearCC10S asks, is regular Havoc, not Titan Havoc, going to be in the Chaos Reigns expansion?
You'll have to play and find out.
Yeah. I mean, we do see a lot of different Havocs, so I assume some of those will probably have dialogue,
Yeah.
but yeah.
And I hate to
There
be
you go.
such an enigmatic turd about it, but I'm under contract, dog.
Yeah,
is
exactly,
true.
man. Exactly, man.
Yeah, can someone move that laser dot off your head? Just
Yeah. Take the shot.
Always, huh? Always.
I'll have shots fired on this. Whatever. They're not as. It's mostly just a joke, but ever since like Taylor Swift has like wormed her way into the NFL, every time she's at a game and on the screen, I always yell at the TV. I'm like, take the shot. Not actually. It's just a joke, Tay Tay.
a joke.
Come on.
Just a
I
joke.
don't want to.
Yeah.
I don't want to get Tenacious D'd.
You mean like camera, right? Take the shot? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Someone snap a Polaroid of that beautiful candid moment. Oh me, I'm just watching my boyfriend in a football game. Anyway, that's not what this question was about.
What?
Yeah, that trailed off. Eh?
Yeah. Good deflection, Jacob. Phew.
Yeah.
We have one from at Dua370999657. Are there any old Mortal Kombat characters that you'd like to see in the newer games?
First of all, I think I recognize at least the Dua part of that handle. If you're the Dua I'm thinking of, what's up, Dua? I have some awesome fans, man.
Nice.
They give me so much more than I deserve, and I'm just so grateful for it. Anyway, I touched on it earlier. Cabal. I want to see Cabal.
Cabal.
Oh,
Yeah, he's got the two dope swords. He's got like the respirator,
Mhm.
you know?
Yep.
Him and Havoc have some history, so I'd love to
Yeah.
see if there's more interplay
Mm.
on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Black Dragon Clan, let's get it.
Let's go, baby.
He's badass.
Well said.
yeah.
So at TickPRPro03 asks, is there any substantial difference in the way you voiced normal Havoc versus Titan Havoc?
Yeah. So I think when we see Havoc at the beginning with his emo swoop And, you know, come on, rhythm like my heart. It's
I
growing
just
me. I
joked
like
about
his
that
haircut.
the other day, Chris.
Oh, good.
my
Yeah,
God. That's amazing.
It's all in good sport. It's all in good fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
But, you know, at that point, very much to that point, he has a lot more angst. He's trying to prove himself and establish himself. And I just feel, you know, he's like more feral. And, you know, he's like, why can't you just understand and see what I see and join me and come to my cause? Because, you know, he's a recruiter. He's a shepherd for chaos. He wants to bring people under his fold. As opposed to when you start to see him at the end, when he's climbed to the top of the pyramid and duked it out and, you know, hard won his prize. I feel like, and when we were going into this DLC, bring it down into a more, it's almost like the chaos and just the whole anarchy and just the madness of him is just saturating him, where, you know, he's kind of convinced of his own insanity, where he doesn't give a shit. He doesn't need to convince anyone of anything. That's just the way the universe is for him. And so maybe you still will see moments where he lashes out and gets passionate, but you know, he's just steeping in his own tea at that point, and he's just full of himself and full of the unholy spirit.
Yeah.
At Marco.91 asks, what would you say is the toughest part about of voicing Havik?
Well, the sycophant in me says, leaving the session. No, but really, because those sessions are so much fun and we have such a blast, and
Yeah.
I just love it. But the intro dialogue, mostly because there's so much of it.
Oh, yeah.
And on projects like this, I have a project coming up on September 12th, which is similar, but when you have to go through like pages and pages, like 200 or 300 different intro dialogues, you know, with different characters who you have different relationships with.
Yep.
You know, maybe you'll be more amicable towards someone else versus like, ew, you represent, you know, a regime or an order. So like, screw you. Or maybe someone's calling you out on your hypocrisy and you don't want to face that. So, and then you have to, you know, face all those different layers and levels over hundreds of lines. And also, like, it's the, you know, make it seem like you're not doing that. You know, this is just like a one-time circumstance. You don't want it to come across in the game like you've been reading 200 lines, right? Because it'll just be like, the blood, the vein, the chaos. You know, you can, let's call this one a mulligan. Let's call this one a draw. Yeah. So no, you don't want it. You have to keep it high energy, high octane,
Certainly.
right there in the moment. So and it's a good challenge, both stamina wise, mental and physical stamina wise, because I'm usually like flexing my core like crazy.
Sure.
Yeah. Shanti from Insanity Workout would be so proud of me, because you gotta engage the core. Engage the core. But also, yeah, the mental focus. And I usually drink a liquid IV during that. If you ever heard of that, some people use like another product called Element, but I like liquid HIV. But is it
Liquid HIV.
what? Liquid IV. What are you saying?
I'm sorry?
But it's just like electrolytes and B vitamins and stuff, and that helps me like keep my focus,
Molten
stay in the
metal.
zone, stay in the moment. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like, electrolyte powder on steroids. So,
I mean, have you ever considered, like, you know, drinking
Real
some,
steroids?
like, hot sauce or something? Or
is they drinking hot sauce?
yeah, like just let the vocal cords burn and then just go straight into it.
Oh man, that might be good at first, but I feel like that would. I am a Spice Lord, though. I love.
Oh, really? Okay.
Not self-proclaimed. I don't go around calling myself Spice Lord. That's so. Ugh. Who says that? No, I like spicy food though.
Yeah, same.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I like my Thai food hot, not white people hot.
well, here's a little challenge for you. I think now that you've established that, I think once the next lot of DLC comes out and you need to record more intros, I think you need to include the term Spice Lord in one of the intro dialogues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got to happen now.
Yeah.
Maybe if someone has like a super cool like flamboyant intro dance, I'm like, Spice Lord.
Yeah.
Then I do like a little spin and
Yeah. I
Perfect.
actually want to see like just like a little hair flick as well and go spicy.
Oh,
It needs to happen. Make it happen.
toasty,
Make
more
it
like spicy.
spicy. Toasty and spicy.
Yeah. They go hand in
And
hand.
off the rails.
Yeah.
All right. So the next question comes from Lost MC Claude, who asks, do you have to do anything special to make your voice sound like it does for Havoc?
I usually just I have a history of I've talked about this before a bit. I like metal. I used to be in metal bands a lot. And so and I was a choir kid, so I kind of like run the gamut of vocal extremes, both and but so kind of tapped into, and I feel like because I had that choir training when I was doing metal vocals, I was able to do it with proper muscular support and not damage myself or hurt myself. Because if you don't have like good core support and you're just yelling, you're gonna mess up your voice.
Yeah.
That's just the
Guaranteed.
truth of the matter. You gotta have the muscle behind it. So, but every day I do a 20-minute singing workout, and then I also, if I have scripts I need to review or something, I'll go and read those, enunciating and reading as fast as possible, just to loosen up my lips and all that stuff. And then the singing exercise usually opens up my range pretty well, so I can go down into. It always sounds a lot deeper in my head in game, and it's not like that deep of a voice, but it sounds deep and booming in my head. But I go kind of down into that guttural, gravelly, and I mean, like probably more than 50% of the time, I'm doing characters more up here or more like younger, and so, maybe like young adults or teenagers. So when I got Havoc, I was like, yes, I get to go down in the, yeah.
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 So I was stoked to get it.
At Alonzo Gutierrez 4455 asks, if you were to be hired for a future Mortal Kombat game, would you like to come back as Havoc, or would you prefer maybe another character?
Oh, I'm Team Havoc all the way, baby.
Yeah.
Especially once I found out when I booked it, and I was like, oh, there's this guy. And I looked up just on the anticipation of him coming back again. And, looking through of like, because Deception, right, was the last time he was in there, which was like 2011. So it was a long time coming. So,
Before that.
oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, no!
Uh-oh. That's not
shit.
good.
That's a nice ceiling.
Yeah, looks like my ceiling. Everyone show your ceilings.
Well, it looks like you have some
Ceiling
editing to do,
check.
Chris. I'll be right back.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Here, I'll wait until you're back on
chaos.
screen. Yeah.
So we've introduced
My
some
fault.
chaos.
Oh my goodness.
Oops.
Oops.
Did Havoc do that? I'll never tell.
Well, at least that's not the actual camera that he records with.
Oh, good.
And I'm kind of glad that it didn't fall over and reveal like some pink panties or anything. Because that would be awkward.
Hey guys, new haul off of Shein. Isn't that like that clothes app that Shine
yeah.
Shein? Yeah. $500 worth of G-strings. Let's go.
Oh, that's your.
This
that's your
one's got
outfit for-
SpongeBob on the front.
That's my evening outfit, ready to
Yes,
go.
I got a morning thong and an evening thong.
And it's the same one, just back. I flip it back to front.
I like to live on that edge. I wear that string on the front.
Yeah. Hey, they might do things different in Canada. I'm not judging.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to do some things to get into the Mounties, I hear.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when it's that cold, you've got to find
Yeah.
some things to do inside. So.
Yeah. Anyway, where were we? Another character? Nah, Team Havoc all the way.
Yeah.
Plus, everyone already does such an awesome job at their characters. It's like, what more is there to do? Characters, I think that would be fun to voice. I think I mentioned Noob Sabat earlier. He'd be dope. Fallen, resurrected Wraith. Does Raiden also have a Wraith form, right? Dark Raiden?
There is Dark Raiden. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, like Wraith form. I'll stay in villain land. Dark Raiden would be dope too.
And I think
But,
he would be good as a Cabal as well if he was to come in.
Yeah. Oh no.
You're
We
muted,
lost audio
Marcus.
on yeah, maybe we're muted. There we go. I heard
Hello?
yeah. I heard the room tone.
That's my Havoc. It's not great. But
Very good. No, it's great.
Yeah. I think Cabal, I think I can hear like, all right, here's a little thing. If you were to do a Cabal, what would it sound like?
Let's see. Do I still have a picture of him up? I want to look at a picture of him. Yeah, I do. Yeah. Havoc. So we meet again. This time I've come prepared. Maybe something like this. I
Yeah.
feel like I will uphold the honor of the Black Dragon clan. Does that sound too much like Havoc? Is it different enough?
No, I think it does sound good. Plus, they would obviously, you'd have the sound of the mask kind of.
Yeah.
I wonder if he.
Exactly.
I wonder if he could stand to be a little higher. I will uphold the honor of the Black Dragon clan.
Yeah.
Something to work
Except
with.
not
Yeah.
read the line like that. Read it like you actually will. Yeah. So maybe to differentiate, he would be a little higher. You dare challenge me? You will fall before me. Something like that.
Love it.
I don't know.
Yeah, that sounds good. I like
Through
it.
the mask. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sounds
that could
good
work
like
through the
Yeah,
mask.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Good suggestion. That would be dope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. So tell us a bit about what you've done outside of Mortal Kombat 1. Like you've mentioned a few other projects, but do you have anything sort of upcoming as well that you might want to plug at the moment?
Yeah. So my first big AAA was Halo Infinite, which I assume I do the jackals in that game and they sound like Spartan. Yeah. And it turned out so dope. I love all the sound design and filters they put on them in that game. I'm in Genshin Impact, which is a very popular RPG, is a big wolf man, and also like a ton. Games will bring me in to kind of like flush out the world, and so like instead of maybe doing one character, maybe you do 2 medium-sized characters, and then like 20 other characters that have like 1 or 2 lines that you'll just like pass by in the market, or you'll hear a voice on a billboard, or you know, like you come upon a scene where some guy's getting stabbed in the throat and that's his only line thing you see is I'm getting stabbed in the throat. And sometimes sessions are all that, where you're gonna do like tons of those characters, like 40, 50, you know, just like shit tons of them. Another one I'm super proud of was Demon Souls, which is adjacent to like the Dark Souls universe, which was a remaster from like a PS2 game. And I did like plague babies in that one. They're these like aborted fetuses that live in a swamp, and they sound like. So like I like doing a lot of creature stuff too. And I'm getting a creature demo, like official creature reel out there very soon. So hopefully I can start doing more of that. I'm in the Zelda universe. Hyrule Warriors, not like Tears of the Kingdom, Breath of the Wild. The one I'm in was a prequel to Breath of the Wild called Hyrule Warriors: Age of Calamity. And it was a young version of like the old decrepit zany scientist named Robbie in there, who sounds like Eureka and kind of like that. And then, oh man, I'm in a lot of games. I'm in some Fire Emblem stuff, Fire Emblem Heroes, Smite, Company of Heroes was a dope one. And, you know, I've got stuff coming up and stuff that's actually been released, but hate to be a downer, but I can't talk about it because right now the Actors Union, SAG-AFTRA is working to compromise on an interactive contract, so just have to do my due diligence, and once it's over, you can expect a deluge of announcements.
Nice.
But I have something super cool coming out on I will say, I hate to say all this cryptic crap, but cryptic crack. Is it crack? Is it not crack? You smoke it and tell me. No. No. It's so fun. No. Don't do crack. But on September 12th, I have something coming out that will be, I believe, actually in like a physical medium, not in digital, which will be super dope. And I'll actually get to be able to advertise and pontificate on that. So stay tuned.
Awesome.
Cool.
And then,
Can't
if anything else comes out, I've been doing some anime. I do, this is completely opposite of what we're doing now, but I also do narration for Disney. I voice audiobooks of,
Oh, wow.
they take the episodes of the Disney Junior show, Spidey and His Amazing Friends, and they turn those into like audiobooks that you can get on like your books app on iPhone or whatever. And I narrate those, teach kids how to read. So it's on the opposite end of the spectrum, but
Yeah.
it rules. It's
Cool.
fun too. Those are coming out all the time. So if you
Very
got
nice.
kids or you still need to learn to read, let me teach you how to read. It's okay.
Yeah.
You can learn anytime.
And is there a Havoc version of those as well?
The ideal one.
One day, Peter Parker and Aunt May showed up at the petting zoo. There was a cute little penguin who was in distress. So they slew the zookeepers and released it from its cage. And they possessed it with the arcane blood magics that can only come from being baptized in the sweet embrace of chaos.
Oh,
Day
And then-
one purchase.
damn. Nailed it. Nailed it.
Love it.
That's how it sounds.
So good.
Okay, Jacob. So we're going to head to the last segment of the show, which
Yeah.
we call.
Final round.
So what we're going to do in this final round is ask you some quick questions, get to know you a little more.
Yay,
So the
I love
first
rapid
question being, do you have a guilty pleasure?
It used to be in my younger years. It used to be Kesha, but I don't know.
Okay.
Nah, Kesha doesn't really jive with me.
The
It
one
doesn't
who
hit-
had
it
sex
doesn't
with
hit
the
the
ghost?
Same. Yes. No, but sometimes just like really cheesy pop. I love Blackpink, like the K-pop. I don't know if that's a guilty pleasure or not. I just love Blackpink. I think they're awesome. Yeah, but in some circles it might be considered a guilty pleasure. I love Ariana. I love Justin Bieber. I think his voice rules.
Canadian.
Yeah, totally.
Represent.
Yeah. And like Ariana Grande and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I love pop. I get down on pop.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that, man.
And retro, are you into like Spice Girls and...
Oh my God, I love Spice Girls. When my sister used to drive me to school, there I am being the nostalgia whore again. And, that was one of the CDs she had was, every boy and every girl, spice up your life. So hell yeah, I love Spice Girls. I love, the same thing, the Gwen Stefani solo album, like, tick-tock, na-na-na-na-na-na. Well, this shit is bananas. B-A-N-A-N-A-S. Yeah, there's a good, like, nostalgic guilty pleasure. I love that.
I so badly just want like something to go wrong in story mode and Havoc just goes, this shit is bananas.
Oh my God.
B-A-N-A-N-A-S. Like a 20-year-old Gwen Stefani
That would be
reference.
so cool.
It's
All
the
of that.
Easter egg everyone never knew
Exactly.
that they wanted.
Just insert all your favorite pop tunes in the intro dialogues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what is your favorite food? You mentioned you like spicy food, but yeah.
Oh, man. That's like asking what your favorite movie or favorite game is. Damn.
You seem
But,
like a bit of a foodie.
First one, oh, yeah, man. I love to cook.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I love it. And I live right down the street from like an international market, so I get to have...
Oh, nice.
And it's more like Mediterranean, Eastern, European oriented, but it's just so fun to explore that stuff. And I always say my dad joke is food porn is my favorite genre. But that's horrible. But so I watch like a lot of food videos, so I end up picking up a lot of recipes. Sorry, getting off track. Burrata. That was the first thing that came to my head. Burrata is like it's an Italian cheese that in someday it's one of those things to have it for real. You gotta go to where they make it because it's truly only good for the first 24 hours. That's what the Italians say. But Italians are very protective
Yeah.
of their culinary traditions, as they should be. They're great
Yes.
culinary traditions to protect. But it's a ball of mozzarella on the outside, and then on the inside is kind of like a more, I hate to say cottage cheesy because it's really not that. It makes it sound disgusting, but it's like this beautiful, luscious, stringy, I think it's called stracciatella. My Italian friend Nico, let me know if that's it. But so it's like the skin of the mozzarella and you pierce into it and it's just like this soft, luscious cheese just oozes out. And usually you have it with like a nice crostini. My favorite combo that I've had, which is super unlikely, is with melon and prosciutto. And like with a cantaloupe. But I think traditionally it would be like a Tuscan melon, which is similar, but different. Italians will say, "Of course, it's not similar; it's completely different." And it is. It's a little more of a pronounced melon flavor, I do have to say. But that's like desert island food for me. Like the one dish you had to take on you with a desert island and eat for the rest of your life. It would probably be burrata with prosciutto and melon. Oh,
Yeah.
maybe a balsamic drizzle, but good stuff doesn't always need it. A nice olive oil drizzle over that. Okay.
What do you classify as your best impression?
Oh, here. You you tell me if this is a good impression, Lynn. Do you recognize maybe Bob from Bob's Burgers? H John Ben, does this even sound like him? Or maybe damn it, Lana. There's an Archer one. Len, I don't know. Maybe that. I feel like it's just one of those days where everything sucks. Like a good loud Fred Durst.
Durst.
Yeah. Are there any I do off the top of my head? Those are the main ones that come to the top of my head. I'll give it that. Yeah.
Cool.
Nice. What is your fondest childhood memory?
Oh. Man. I have to just go with the first one that comes in my head. Me being like 6 years old, it's Saturday morning. My dad has his 1973 GMC short box pickup. We're loading it, all the trash, into the back, and we're just taking a ride to the dump there in Eastern Washington. And he would always sing. The radio didn't work, so we just sang.
Yeah.
We just sang, and we'd always sing. I think the most famous version. It's like an old American folk song that something Paul and Mary, whatever that trio did. And it's like, if I had a hammer, I'd hammer in the morning, I'd hammer in the evening, all over this land, and the hammer up there. Yeah, that brings me to a good place.
Oh, guaranteed,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
that doesn't
Beyond
happen
that,
anymore,
I would
does it?
say.
Because everyone's
Beyond
on
that,
there,
I would.
you know.
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
so sorry.
No,
Go
sorry.
for
I
it,
was just
Chris.
going to say, it doesn't. Those beautiful moments don't really happen as much anymore because a lot of kids are like, head down into devices and stuff. Whereas in the old days, like, yeah,
All
the
we
radio
had
didn't
is
work
a
and no one
stick.
cared. Yeah, and it's, Sorry, continue.
Yeah, and chores.
Chores.
Beyond that, one of my favorite memories is remember when they used to sell CDs in stores? After a friend's birthday, after laser tag, we went to Hastings, a CD store up where I'm from, not around anymore, and we bought a 2-pack of Lamb of God's first 2 albums, Ashes of the
Lamb of
Wake and
God.
As the Palaces Burn, and it both equally terrified me and fascinated me because at the time I was like, how did humans make this? Like, how can your feet move that fast? How can you play these notes on the guitar? Yeah. And I would load it into iTunes. My sister would find it and delete it off because she was afraid I was possessed by Satan. And, when you're young, that might not be it's a valid concern when you're like, what is my brother listening to? But yeah, it's a very good, those albums blew me away. That and seeing the music video for Children of Bodom's 6-pounder.
Oh my
on
God, I was
Fuse.
just about to ask you if you listen to Children of Bodom. There we go.
Yeah, and I heard that guitar solo. I'll sing around that Alexi did, and I was like,
Incredible.
oh my God.
Incredible.
I was like, how can that be? First, how can you play that? And like, that is so catchy. Like, people forget that stuff in metal can be like super catchy and just get like an earworm. And that guitar solo, from Alexi, right? He's the lead singer. Rest in peace. I know he's passed on, but super good memory. I'll never forget that.
Oh, here's a random one. What was the longest time you've went without any sleep?
Probably the first time I climbed Mount Whitney. It was just 2018. I've been up at a time once more since then. It's the tallest peak in the the contiguous lower 48. And we started at about 1:30 in the morning. I summited at noon. And then I was down at 9:30 p.m.
Oh, man.
And it was early May, so there was like a good amount of snow up there. Like I had crampons, ice axe, and I was digging out steps and zigzagging up that couloir on the east face of it, and but it made me feel like the full expression of Jacob. That's why I'm going out. I said this off camera beforehand. All you viewers, I'm going out tomorrow to go summit a peak, and all my shit's out there that I need to organize. So
Yeah. Very nice. So you obviously enjoy like hiking. That's something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and my friend just gave me your Fitbit, and my resting heartbeat is like at 56 BPM, so it pays
wow.
dividends. Yeah.
Yeah.
Being high up, like high altitude, is so good for you. It's great for your heart. It's great for your immune system. It's, yeah. All those Tibetans living long and living well.
Interesting.
doing it right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are some of your secret talents?
Oh, frick. Damn, this is one of those ones where, like, 15 minutes later, I'm like, oh, that would have been a great one. Let me go to the Mind Palace really quick. A secret talent? Oh, yeah. Okay. mind your ears. This is going to be on my upcoming creature demo, but I can do like a Nazgul scream.
Oh.
Oh, really?
It's effed up. Yeah.
Whoa.
I'll do it a little bit. Yeah, it goes. Let's see if I can do it loud. It's not coming out right now,
Wow.
but it's something like that.
Something like that.
I'm a little lightheaded right now, but
Yeah, we have that effect on people.
I just can't
But no-
handle you right now. Secret talents. I'm really good with a chainsaw. I'm an axe.
really?
When
Okay.
I just got back from like in July, I was home sawing and chopping all of my parents' firewood for the winter, and it's just great. It's great exercise. I love handling a chainsaw because it just makes you feel like a man. Just gonna ding ding ding.
Call me Leatherface.
But you know what's up there? It's just up
Puts
there.
on
It's
the
just one
mask.
of those tools. Down here, if someone's like a chainsaw, okay, Texas Chainsaw Man, Massacre Man, Murder Person. But
I mean, do you use it when you cook? Like if you're cutting up steak, is that something
yeah.
you go for?
a great tenderizer. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very fun. That nice gasoline exhaust
Yeah.
tinge it leaves on a
Beautiful.
Smoked.
top round.
Yeah. Yeah. Nice.
No, but yeah, I can do like a minimum maintenance on a chainsaw. I can change a chain. I can sharpen a chain. I can,
Yeah.
they're fun.
Um,
They sound
what-
awesome.
What would you say is the biggest adrenaline rush you've ever had in your life?
Climbing the east ridge of Lone Pine Peak. Let me set the stage. It was me and one of my best friends, Steven. We're 24. Like, hell yeah, let's get the... Plus, this is all in the Sierra Nevada, Mount Whitney,
Okay.
where I'm climbing this. This is where I go get my mountain time. But, it was just this gnarly east ridge that goes up to the top of Lone Pine Peak. We bivouacked, which is where you just get in a little waterproof sack, and we got up to like 12,000 feet, and there were no thunderstorms in the forecast, but in summer, a thunderstorm up there can just happen like that. And so Steven gets up to a ledge, and his arm hair stands up and starts to spark. And he's like, we need to get down.
wow.
We need to get down now. So we get down. We hide in our bivouac sacks. It proceeds to hail on us. And then we fall asleep. And then the next morning we got up and there was the final head wall of Lone Pine Peak. And then I saw it. And my first thing is like, I'm terrified. Like, how are we going to get up that? We were just going to like frolic up this thing. We didn't have any serious climbing ropes and anything. I'm a much more cautious, smart climber now. And, we probably went up some good, climbing grades like 5, 6, 5, 7, which is at the lower grade, but like gym grades do not translate to outdoor grades. Like 5.9 in outside is different from 5.9 in a gym, and you should definitely have a rope. And for this stuff, we should have definitely had a rope. But we made it up. And my heart was pounding the whole time, and I'll never do anything that reckless again. But boy, it was a rush. And I'm still climbing, so obviously
Yeah.
I liked it.
Yeah.
It didn't steer me away. I've just actually learned what I'm doing now, and I don't take any unnecessary... There's plenty of adrenaline and fun to be had without taking unnecessary, stupid risks. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Very nice. Okay, and final question for you. What is the best piece of advice you've ever been given?
Okay. So, I learned this in therapy, and it was that, like, there was a section where we talked about, and it was like a group therapy. It was a section where we talked about vulnerability, and they just clarified, like, hey, vulnerability isn't just like spilling out your guts to strangers, just being, it's having just the bravery and courage to, like negative emotions, to feel through them and let them happen and not shun them away. That's really when I learned what being vulnerable really was. It's not going up to a random person on the street and being like, I'm having such a bad day. It's being, when you go through a cycle of depression, like I do, like most everyone does.
Yeah.
It's just knowing it's like, I'm going to feel like shit for a while. I know I am. It's going to get real. And that's okay. Because if I'm abjectly sad now, then I know I'm going to be just infectiously happy later. So
Yeah.
Well said.
that feeds into that vulnerability of just being not afraid to just feel it as it comes and just let it ride, because even if they feel like crap, they're still important parts of you.
Yeah.
I feel
Amen
like.
to that.
So,
Indeed.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you again so much for joining us, Jacob. This has been a blast. Sorry about my little camera tumble there. That sucked,
Hey,
but
no apologies.
hey, here we are. And yeah, man, it's really been something, and look forward to speaking with you again shortly.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah.
Thank you, Marcus and Chris. Do you ever go by Chris, or are you always Christopher?
Oh, whatever. That's fine.
All right.
And just before you go, where can fans find you on social media?
You can find me at Jacob Craner on Twitter. If you want an awesome signed print on video or off video, you can go to streamly.com/Jacob Craner. Get him there. On Instagram, I'm at X. On X, my bad.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry, Elon.
Yeah.
Sorry.
On Instagram, I'm Jacob.Craner. I used to be Jacob Craner, but I changed it for some dumb reason. I tried to change it back, and now there's another Jacob Craner. And so I have to be Jacob.Craner on there. But I'm most actively on Instagram, honestly. And I have a friend. A lot of the times, sorry, I'm getting into the weeds here, but just one more thing. A lot of the times, if I get a random idea, it's a quest of mine. I don't think about it. If I giggle at something internally, I just start recording a voice memo, and then I just ramble out a scene or whatever. It doesn't matter if I'm at home or like in TJ Maxx, who cares? And then I upload them all to a Google Drive folder. I send them to my friend M, and I'm just like, hey, if you find something that's funny, just animate to it or do whatever you want. And then she animates to it, and then I put in like little sound effects and stuff, and it ends up being funny, and I post them up on I think they're funny, but I'll let you be the judge of that. But those are all up on Instagram, and
Yeah.
And just
Nice.
before
I
we
think
exit,
that's where I was going for that.
just before we exit, Jacob, is there any last words you want to say to all your fans out there in the Havoc voice?
You guys are the best. Thank you for being part of the Chaos Army. Our wait is over. Our time to rise and bathe in anarchy has come.
So see you
I
guys
felt
soon.
that.
Nice.
See you guys on September 24th.
That's it. Chaos reigns.
Yeah.
And that concludes today's episode of the Kamidogu Podcast. We appreciate you stopping by, and again, we couldn't be more excited to see what Jacob has whipped up in this next story expansion. Make sure to keep an eye on all of Jacob's work by following his socials. It's always fun to keep on making these excellent specials. We hope to see you in another one real soon. However, don't forget, my friends, if you'd like to test your luck, now's the time to participate in our giveaway for your chance to receive your own Havoc artwork with Jacob's signature. With that being said, you know how it goes. Have fun, stay safe, and
Stay flawless.